Hello, welcome to my channel Favored Readings. I'm Kymmy, and today we will be doing a reading for the full pink moon in Libra. And today we will be doing a Rhapsodomancy divination reading. And for any of those that are new to my channel, or this is their first one, or your first one that you've picked out, Rhapsodomancy is an ancient form of divination that was used by muses, which is they used poems and verses from scriptures in order to come up with intuitive messages and guidance for those who came to them. So in honor of the pink moon, which symbolizes the beauty of blooming of spring, as well as the moon being in Libra, which symbolizes balance within relationships, I wanted to do, the question today will be, how do I balance between loving myself and others? Like, how do I find balance between loving others and myself? So the placements today are different Justice cards, which is Libra's, one of Libra's symbolizing cards within the tarot deck. And I will show you each one, as well as there will be a thumbnail picture at the front if you wanted to just pause and meditate on it, roll a dice, put your hand over top of each pile and feel which one feels warm to you. It's really whichever way you feel to. Now also, these are general readings, so not all the messages will resonate. If all the messages resonate, great. If they don't, then you are welcome to pick another pile. If you just aren't feeling it at all, then this reading may not be for you, and that's perfectly okay. You're welcome to click on another video of mine. I will have other Rhapsodomancy as well as tarot pick-a-card readings. So for the first one, I will have them all listed down, and also I don't do personal readings at this time, and if anyone messages you in your inbox, even if I am doing personal readings, I will not reach out through your inbox. I will wait for those to come who feel called to come to me. So that is one of the tactics that scammers use, so please protect your well-earned money for yourselves. Also, of course, you may also give out to those who do personal readings. Yes, okay. I'm saying today a lot. Give me a second. Okay, let's get into this. We have the Justice card from the Waite Tarot, Rider-Waite deck and Waite Rider deck. Traditional there. And for pile number 2, we have Justice card from Radleigh Valentine's Angel Messages Tarot. And last and certainly not least, we have the Justice card from the Fairy Tarot deck, also done by Radleigh Valentine. So hopefully you can see there's a bit of glare. Woo! Calm down, there's some. There we go. All right. So you're welcome to pause the video and take a moment and breathe like I did in order to get centered within yourself. And I will be making timestamps below, and you're welcome to skip ahead or listen all the way through if you feel called to do so. All right, I will see you in your piles. Pile number 1, if you chose the traditional Waite Rider deck, Justice card, then this is for you. Woo! Okay. So I have my phone here, and it's the calculator.net/dice roller that I will be using to select which poem of mine I will be reading. I have 48 poems at this time, so let's see. Ooh. Can you see? Come on, mama. So just not being able to see it. Ooh, there we go. I found an angle. Spirit, please. For pile number 1, how can they balance the love between them? How can they balance loving themselves and others? Please and thank you. Balancing love between themselves and others. So number 12. Back up here so we can talk face to face. I know that's kind of redundant since the screen in front, but let's see. Okay. Number 12. So 12 or number 3 could be important to you, my pile number 1s. Okay. Poem number 12 is called White Flag. And as always, my poems can go a little bit dark, but the messages are not always intuitively felt that way. So if you're not ready for heavy feelings or energies that may come through, then you're welcome to pause at any time and come back to it when you're ready. White Flag. Your memory is a haunting ghost, using my brain as your personal host. Flashbacks wearing me down until all positive thoughts have been drowned. Absence from reality, hearing and seeing things that make me question my sanity. Broken record images of multiple abuse, fighting the craving to numb it with substance use. Eating away at my intellect like a plague, but I'll be damned if I'll wave my white flag. So I feel like for our pile number 1s here, that that you've been dealing with a lot of hurt in your past, but I feel like at this time you're calling your power back to yourself and bringing forth justice and balance. And before, it seems like you were allowing others, you were loving others, but you weren't giving that love to yourself. And you were it seems like you're working towards that. So in order to bring balance, I find, between yourself and others, it seems like you are able to give that out to others, but you're just not completely found a way to extend the same amount of love to yourself. So you're slowly working on it. You're fighting the cravings. So you could be working on any kind of addictions, from sugar, too much social media, to the harder stuff as well, or even if you have an addiction to a person, with trauma bonding, it is a serious thing to deal with. And it seems like you're moving away from the things that haunted you. It could be either your feelings of your own guilt of things that you've done in the past, or sorry, haven't done either, because guilt and regret can be about things that you did or didn't do. And it seems like you're pushing that away. You're curbing cravings of wanting to numb yourself from existing, whether it's smoking or drinking. You want to separate yourself from that. You want to live and not just numb yourself. And that is a huge step towards giving yourself personal love. So where it was in the past that you were letting this person, place, or thing that you were addicted to was allowed to live rent-free in your mind, and you're pushing that away now. You're slowly getting the courage and that power back within you to guide and have control over your own actions and taking accountability for them, which is a huge step in order to finding balance between loving others and yourself, is by putting up personal boundaries. Once you put up personal boundaries within yourself, it's a little bit, I'm not going to say it's easy, because enforcing boundaries is always hard. So once you work on doing those personal boundaries with yourself, I see you being able to do that with the people around you, and making sure that, this like you're pushing away you're not pushing away positive, you're pushing away negative thoughts. And that's a personal boundary as well, because you'll be thinking negative thoughts, and you'll be like, no, I am having thoughts of negative blank. And you separate your feelings from what's actually happening around you, which is a good thing. And I'm very proud of you, pile number ones. It seems like you've had a very harsh upbringing, and maybe into your adult life as well. And the fact that you're willing not to give up on yourself is going to bring so much balance to you, because if you continue to fight for yourself, then that's one of the signs of giving yourself, that's one way to give yourself love, is to enforce boundaries. Lots of people don't talk about this, but enforcing boundaries is a way of showing yourself love. Not giving up is another way of showing yourself love. So I feel in your case, in pile number ones, you really easily give love to others, which is fine. You're supposed to. But you still have to bring balance to it, which is loving yourself. And I see you working on that. So it was like, how are you supposed to do that? The question is, keep working on your personal boundaries. Keep saying no to the things that aren't good for you, and saying no to those environments around you that aren't good for you either. And I think if you keep doing that, it'll become more second nature. It won't be easy, but it'll be second nature. Like, for example, back in the day, they used to not have seatbelts. So when that generation had to learn to put on seatbelts. Some of them denied that boundary and didn't want to wear it. So over time, there was those who did want to make the change and did want to make themselves feel safe. And they had to learn the habit of buckling up. And now our generation, it's like second nature. It's like autopilot. You get into a car and buckle up. So the work that you're doing now, whether you do have children in the future or not, is going to bring about that habit as second nature to the next generation, whether it's just younger generation viewing you or your actual own kin that you've adopted or had yourself. We'll see this in you. Sorry, I got cat hair. We'll see this in you and see the progress and your willingness to not give up, not willing to wave your white flag, because white flag means you're giving in to those and surrendering yourself, and there's no reason that you should feel the need to surrender yourself because you are your own person and you shouldn't give up your fortress. I'm not saying that you should build yourself up and not allow people in, but you should definitely enforce boundaries. So in order to bring balance between loving yourself and others, I want you to continue to keep building up personal boundaries a little bit at a time. It doesn't have to be an intense change right away. Like if you're one who really likes snacking, like I do, maybe, roll it up and put it in the cupboard so it's out of sight, out of mind. And then, like, if you want it once and, like, give it 10 minutes, you still want a snack, go back. Like, slowly work on your willpower and personal boundaries. And over time, I see that you'll be able to do that for yourself and towards others. Because even though you can show love towards others, sometimes you don't show yourself love by saying yes to others. So, I'm just looking through the poem to see if there's any other intuitive messages that I'm getting. Yeah, no, I said that. For some of you pile number ones, you're having a hard time. I'm intuitively feeling that you're having a hard time accepting that this abuse has happened. With the things you've seen and heard, and you're questioning your sanity. It's okay if you need outside help. That could be something that you may want to look into to bring balance to your inside self as well. Now, I have all the help videos and whatnot that I've had personally with my therapist listed below every one of my videos. You're welcome to look at it and go through it, or even look it up yourself, as I know that therapy isn't cheap. Not personally, but I do know in some places that there is really expensive and hard to track down. So please use any of the information listed below to help yourself, and know that with abuse, sometimes it's hard to recognize it, and it's not your fault. And sometimes the first stage is denial. So denying that it happened to you doesn't make you wrong. It's just the first step. First step is acceptance. So And you know, the first step of grief is denial. So the first step of healing is acceptance. So maybe accepting that it did happen to you, and that's okay if you don't feel ready to accept it yet. And it's okay if you're not sure how you feel about it yet. But what's not okay is that it happened. And it's not okay that you have to deal with it. I know that personally. Accepting it doesn't make it define you. It doesn't make your life story. It makes a chapter. And with all the courage and determination and resilience that I feel from intuitively from all you pile number ones, not willing to wave your white flag, you're gonna do great in your next chapter. And you know, everyone has some footnotes of a kick in the pants. I can't wait for you to rise instead of that flag. So I see a balance for your self-love. I see you bringing yourself loyalty. See you bringing balance of friendship to yourself. I see passion for yourself. I see nature. I forget what green is, so I'm just gonna say maybe you're bringing back your nature. You're like your wait. How do you like say that? Like your nature. Like I think I'm saying it correctly. Bringing back your nature, like your naturalness, like what you are, what would be your personal nature. I also see some of you, this could not be all of you, and it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. Also, I see you bringing calmness to your mind with the blue there. If you keep working on your personal boundaries, because the blue represents calmness, and yes, you all deserve your crowns and a peace of mind, and as well as I see that you're going to be balancing and bringing your feminine side, your divine feminine sides out more with the hand pointing downwards. It seems the left hand, and which symbolizes the divine feminine, whether you're male or female, we both, or non-binary, we all have divine masculine and feminine energies within us. Since it's down lower, it feels like it's not as balanced and up as the right hand here. So I feel like you're going to be delving into your femininity, divine feminine, which is the energy of receiving. So you'll be you're going to be working on receiving love, support, help, you know, and getting away from hyper independence, which is the trauma response. But yeah, I feel like file number one, so you're going to be bringing your divine feminine more into balance and being willing to and open to receiving more with because the hand seems lower on, and that's why I got the image from it. But yeah, that's all the messages I have for intuitively. I'm gonna get one of these and then move on my way to the next pile. Thank you for letting me read your energy, and I hope that I was able to at least bring some reassurance and some helpful guidance as well. Pile number ones, please. Pile number ones. Pile number ones, please. Okay, so I have the number 5 here. 5s could be important to you. It could be, May could be important to you since it's the next month coming up. At least when I am filming this, it is a timeless reading, so it could be the next month from whenever you're watching it, or the number 5 could just be significant to you. 5 symbolizes change, so I see some change coming for you as well. At the word take, it seems like the universe is really indicating that it would like you to take a break. Give yourself a break. Don't be afraid of asking for help and receiving it. So don't be afraid of taking. Just because you accept things does not make you any less capable of taking care of yourself. Or even that, take care of yourself. It seems like for a while now you've been very out of balance, and you've been giving and giving and giving and giving, which is divine masculine, is providing stability and giving. And as I said, you need to work on your divine feminine, which is receiving, aka take. But receiving is from someone who's obviously willing to give. There is also the L, so some of you could be going to the lake, and that's how you are gonna be working on giving yourself more self-love and relaxing and getting out of your mind, maybe swimming, or it's something you really like to delve into. I also have the word Kate here, if that possibly could be your name. It doesn't have to be. 8, eat. They want you to be careful of how much takeout you are eating. And that it is never too late for you to make it's never too late for you to make a change. And the fact that you're not willing to give up and wave your flag is incredible. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this message, give it a thumbs up and like or subscribe if you so choose to. And as always, remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. All right, bye, pile number ones. All right, pile number twos. If this Justice card from Radleigh Valentine was the one you picked out, then this reading is for you. Alright, let's hopefully. Yay, I got an angle. Last time I was a little bit monkey. Oh. Pile number twos, please. Spirit, how can they balance between loving themselves and others, please? Guides, guardians, and spirit team. 33. So 33 or 6 could be important to you. It could be your master number, such as master number 33, which is teachers. You don't have to actually be a teacher. You can just join teaching others to do things, or within your own bracket of interest, like video games or skateboarding, or teaching them how to weld or fix a car, anything, witchcraft. You could be a teacher of any sort. because that's what the number 33 master symbolizes, as well as the other two, which is building and I forget what 11 is. Either way, you may just be seeing 3-3 or 333 around everywhere. Let's get into 33. 33. It's called silver lining. Immersed creativity, everlasting capacity, noblest foundation, exhilarate, exhilarate, brain to mouth, exhilarating sensation, wraith, perpetuate, heavily levitate, tension breaks, thunder quakes, thouer, man, shower makes it end, welcoming rainbows bend. Sorry, I'm trying to take it seriously. It's just public speaking has not always been my favorite, and I will be very honest about it. So maybe pile number 2 is you also possibly doesn't have to resonate for all of you, but some of you may have a bit of meh with the public speaking as well. I don't know. And that's okay. I do have some things listed below for being assertive as well as public speaking. It's the Toastmaster link below the video if anyone else is interested. That's the first thing I get from it. But yeah, it seems like pile number 2 is you're very creative as well as you're working on like making your foundation more spacious. Hold on, I think I can. It's 1, 2, 3 o'clock on the phone. So the next stages of your life, exactly what I'm trying to say here, is that you've already created a solid foundation, but you want to like grow. You want to like add on to it. Like, I'm feeling if you started a hobby and now you want to share that hobby with other people. And then from there, you're showing the hobby to other people to making your own business out of it. Now, this is just an example. It doesn't have to specify to you. Now, if it could be that you live in a certain type of home, and now that you're finally stable and have saved up, you want to get a different home that best seats. It could be a vehicle as well with the seats. It best suits your family's needs, is what I'm trying to say here. But it could also be a vehicle as well. You've had a good vehicle for a good running time, and now you've saved up and you're looking for something that suits your needs, or you're just looking to upgrade. And that's what I see here for our pile number 2. Between finding love for yourself and others, it seems like you got it pretty much balanced out. Like, if you can see from the picture in here, like the balance is super like across from each other, right? Now in the traditional one, I'll show you that in this image, it's not balanced right across, right? So I feel like pile number 2 is you're doing pretty good at finding balance between yourself and others. And now you just want to grow on that. Like if you you've put in the footwork, and now you've gone from walking the walk to talking the talk, which is kind of ironic considering I started saying about the public speaking. But even at that, maybe you have a lot of information that people need to hear, but the only thing that's really, you know, needs to break the tension is finding a bit of confidence. So that could be what you need to find in for yourselves, is that you're doing a pretty good job so far with the solid like foundation and whatnot. With the Justice card being super balanced, I feel like you are super balanced and everything in your life is showing love towards yourself and others. It's just that littlest tiny bit of confidence you still need to work on. Just a little bit, like not a whole heck of a lot. Because like your showers, the showers like thunder showers or light showers, whichever one, it doesn't indicate in this it doesn't indicate in the poem what kind of shower it is. So maybe it could have been a baby shower, it could have been a storm of life, or it could just be this monsoon season. I'm not sure. But you know, if you are becoming a parent or you are a parent and you're finally finding that you're working, the last thing you need to work on is that little bit of confidence. Maybe you're a new parent and you're not quite sure how to be a parent. Don't come with manuals, and that's okay. Just just believe in yourself. Just, and I know it's easier said than done because I have to work on it every day too when I get up here. So it's just keep working on what you find to be creative. If being creative is building a family, if being creative is working on cars, it seems like you really have a lot of creativity, especially with the everlasting capacity right after it. And immerse yourself. Wraith perpetuate. It could be connected to the Fey realm, considering Wraith. I think they were actually banshees, but I'm not sure completely. I haven't done research in that in a while. You could have connection to it. It doesn't mean that you have to. That could be a specific message. It is a message for some of you out there, right? And you just need to take the courage and redirect and know that whatever you need to say and whatever kind of art you need to get out, whatever business, whatever path you want to take, you want to get a new home for your family, whatever it is, know that you are capable of. Know that you're balanced. Come on, baby. I believe in you. Don't do this to me in front of the audience. I'm trying to show them. See? You believe and find balance. So yeah, even if you feel like you're fumbling and it's not quite working out, maybe try a different approach. But yeah, it seems like giving yourself a little bit of belief, a little bit more belief in yourself is something that will help you bring balance towards loving yourself. And when you believe in yourself, other people see that too, and it helps echo and balance and mirror that love into the universe and bring it back to you. And especially if one of the things that you're having a hard time having confidence is your art and creativity. Maybe you don't feel like you're a public speaker, even though people really like listening to you. Maybe you don't feel like you're a good singer, but you enjoy singing. Do it anyway. And same goes with drawing, and if you're good at drawing, go ahead and trace something and then color it in. There is no rules to art. Like, and I know I'm probably gonna get some art graduates down in the comments being like, yes, there is rules. You must all shade in one direction, and there's color wheels and stuff. You wanna know what? Nobody who's doing it for fun, there's no rules. And even those who've been told that there's rules haven't. There's a picture with just a picture of banana, and it is worth more dollars, zeros than a binary code sometimes. Okay, so don't let social norms define you, and know that your art is worth pursuing, even if it doesn't make you money, which you possibly could. You could just put yourself out. This is a lecture to myself. Quick secret: most tarot readings have a little bit of the message inside each one of them for themselves. But yeah, don't let the thundering of your own heart and brain get in the way of finding your rainbow bend. Because at the end, there's the pot of rainbow. Oh my goodness, I said that you might know the Fae, and that's Leprechaun. It is very possible. If you don't believe in them, that's perfectly fine. If you do, please be careful, as not all Fae are nice ones. St. John's wort and iron is very good against them, as well as bread in pockets and wearing your clothes inside out, for any of those who are having problems with them. Okay. You're doing pretty good so far. Like, all you gotta do is take that next step, a leap of faith, towards whatever you feel is creative. You could be an architect, you could be a herbalist, you could be just being a mom, and that's okay. Whether that be a fur baby mom, a plant baby mom, or if you're just mothering yourself because you never had one. And that's okay that you have that thunder. Just don't let it outroar your inner creativity. I also see a lot of you having your third eye open more as of recently. So it could be opening up a creative block that could have, for some of you, may have gone through. As with the part that says heavily levitate, I feel like intuitively that that you felt your creativity was out of reach. I'm gonna go back on there properly this time. How could you? That's my card. They say there's another image in here for me to think. You're your own savior. You are your own protector, and you are your own weapon. You are also your own creator. And when you find that creative outlet and courage to take it upon yourself, then you will find the ultimate balance between loving yourself and others. Because denying your creativity, it is not a way of showing self-love. All right. It's 44:55 on the clock. So keeping 4 4s and 5 5. So and 3 3 4 4 5 5 because the poem's number. That's another step. So it's definitely the next step in your life. You guys are definitely taking a big step in the next life. I'm excited for you. I'm so excited. Okay. I'll number 2, please say. Woo. I want to take the thumbs from being down low and give it to you way up high. Almost dropped it. um, oh, some of you maybe do have a social media, and it could be dropping in likes because of the type of creative art that you're expressing. Keep doing it anyway. The people who are meant to enjoy and love your art are out there, and they will find you. Just keep putting it out there and doing what you love, and forget about those who aren't giving you the thumbs up. They're just a bunch of you don't need their opinion. And that's all it is, just an opinion. Give yourself. For those who are parents, you could have a boy, a new boy. For the ones that I said that were new family, that you don't have to have a boy, but you certainly can. Oh, that kind of boy. It wasn't like it could be some of you. That is definitely a message for some of you, but that wasn't the message they were trying to get out to me. It was a boy, like a buoy, but I call them boys. They're little floating devices on the ocean, and no matter how heavy the thunder quakes, and no matter how big the storm is, they don't sink. They always rise to the top. So even when you feel like everything around you might drown you and can possibly ruin your foundation that you've created, I see that pile number 2s, you will always rise to the top. Even if people around you stop liking you or stop following you, whether that be personal or social media, you're not here for other people's likes and it's sure I'm on a social media and I tell you thumbs up and like all the time, but I do it more so people will possibly find helpful advice from things that I've gone through, and or at least, have something soothing to listen to with encouragement. Now, not always have positive messages, as I have to keep it real sometimes. But yeah, the BOUY, I feel like no matter what, you'll always be rising to the top of the water and get that breath of new life in you. Now, it could also mean that you do have a baby boy, or even if he's older, he's still your baby boy. Whether it's a child or a fur or a lizard or any kind of chosen children you have, as I say with my little boy behind the camera who keeps twitching his ears every time I say the B word. So let him sleep and move on to the next thing that I can see here. You're beautiful. Some of you pile number 2s haven't been told that a lot, and they find beauty within your art. Others will find beauty within your art. I feel like some of you aren't getting enough quiet. Is that, are you trying, is the message that they're not getting enough quiet? Some of you might not be getting enough quiet, but I think the message is don't quit. Spirit, can you help me get the message that is supposed to be? Some of you may be quilters or seamstress, might just work with patterns and designs and formulating creations that way. It was one of the ones I didn't mention earlier. That's what they wanted me to get from this. Some of you might not be getting quiet, and they also want you to not quit. Some of you could be a part of the 2SLGBTQ plus, LGBTQIA plus, and with the BI here. Or some of you could be wanting to go from a bi-weekly job to starting your own business. Some of you may be working and getting paid weekly or bi-weekly and working a 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 o'clock. What the no? I said 4 and 5s were important. Cool, guys. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to be pronounced. But yeah, that's cool. So you might be working a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 4 job, and or it doesn't. You don't have to be, but it just trying to get the message through that you're wanting to start your own business instead of working for someone else. And that's all the messages I have here for you, pile number 2. Hopefully you were able to find a message here for you. If not, then you're welcome to listen to another reading. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you'd like to listen to any other topic using Rhapsodomancy with my own poems. And I enjoyed reading your energy, and I'm super excited for all of you to start the next stages of your life, whatever that may mean for you. And remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Okay, bye, pile number 2s. Pile number 3s. If you chose the Justice card from the Fairy Tarot deck by Radleigh Valentine, then this one is for you. Come on, baby. Don't be shy. Yes. Okay. Okay, I have 48 poems. Let's see here. Pile number 3s, please. Pile number 3s. How can they balance between loving themselves and others? Spirit guides, guardians, ancestors. 44. you could be seeing 44 a lot, or you could be seeing 8, which is the number of justice. So I feel like some of you could be Libras or other air signs. You don't have to be, but that certainly could be an indication that this is your pile. 44. So 44 as poem is called Solstice. Moonlight cast silhouette prolong. Non-torpor avays chatter song. Nocturnal predators lengthily hunt. Demise befall prey they confront. Sun swings stands at pause. Like stationary tin man from Oz. Winter's first day arrives. Another season contrives. Earth axis tilt hemisphere. Longest night of the year. So I feel for pile number 3s that some of you might be coming out of a dark night of a soul, or if you are not out of it yet, you'll be coming out of it soon, or shadow work as well, especially with the imagery from this, where it shows that, when you go through a dark night of the soul, you eventually find balance within yourself between your higher self, your ego, and your human body, and you have a Kundalini awakening, which means both dragons inside of you balance. You may look it up more if you feel that it resonates, but it shows how they're looking up to the future and close, I might add you, that they're finding balance. They're finding both pieces and peace of mind. They've already got balance of their heart, and now they're finding balance within their mind. And during a dark night of the soul is definitely taxing on the mind. Now, this isn't to say that some of you could be experiencing a really late snow in this springtime. I know some places got hit with the really big windstorms, and as well as some snowfall. Yes, in April and snowfall. So that could be an indication that this is your reading as well. It doesn't have to be. It says on the bottom of the card, take time to review details carefully. You will win in the end. Fair and objective decisions. So during a dark night of the soul, sometimes you can feel like you just don't care anymore, and that you may have been losing your empathy or your ability to feel. It's just because you're shedding and one stage of your life and moving into another and transforming. So when you're transforming from a seed into a flower, let's say, because it's springtime and this is the pink moon, so that's about blooming with spring, so we'll use that analogy. When the seed starts to crack underneath the soil, it doesn't really see anything, so it doesn't get too excited. It's like, oh, I went through all that work to crack the shell and I still don't see any progress. And you could be losing a bit of hope that all this work you're doing isn't amounting to much. You know, like the Tin Man from Oz, feeling stationary and like he doesn't have any oil, and you feel like you're not moving and getting very far. You feel like, oh, I don't feel like I have a heart because I just don't, feel empathy the way I used to. And you can become pessimistic during a dark night of the soul, and you can feel like, not that even if you hear the birds singing outside, all you can think about is the predators hunting. And that could be also a metaphor of, things that are going on around the world. People are singing, people are dancing, but there's also wars going on, and it can be a lot to hold onto within your own heart when you're going through a metamorphosis. It's hard to be plugged into all of the energies of the world when you're not even able to ground yourself because of your transformation. I don't know if you all did the science experiment when you were a kid with cornstarch, where you put a bit of water and it was just enough water that if you played with it, if you kept working with it, it would mold for a second, and then if you stopped working on it, it would like liquefy and run flat. So, Spirit, can you help me put this into words? You are that cornstarch, and your environment is the water. Sorry, I'm channeling here, and it's so profound. That's 1, 2, 3 on the clock, and 9. So the end of something, and this 1, 2, 3 means step of your next life. So when you take that and you are moldable, cornstarch means many things. It depends on how much of the outside environment is added. If you add too much water, it won't be formable. If you don't add enough water, then sorry if you can hear the yawning from another room. A lot of you could be tired, and that could be the environment you're dealing with, is that you're dealing with a tired environment. So you got to make sure that you give yourself enough love and enough rest. If you're going through a transformation, you can't just be all work. You're like, oh, I'm doing spiritual work. I'm doing spiritual work. I'm doing spiritual work. I'm working on my shadow self. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But you're also not resting. So if the environment is water and you're cornstarch, you just want to make sure there's enough water that dang it, I almost had it. Okay, the cornstarch. Yeah, you want to rest. So, like, how do I tell you this? Giving yourself more self-love is the rest, is the message. To give yourself a break. Another season will contrive in its time. It's the longest night, or dark night of the soul. And even the sun stands still in a pause during eclipses and whatnot. So it could, the eclipse coming up at the end of the month here, or if you're watching this at another time, it could be 2 weeks time. Bring up the calendar just to make sure. Yeah, it's 2 weeks from today. So whenever you're watching this, 2 weeks from it could be when you finally like get back into motion and give yourself a rest until then. Because if you're, I really hope I get this cornstarch thing. I don't know why I started with it, but it gave her too much work. Okay, so we have, oh yeah, if you overwork it, it just gets really crunchy. Okay, so you're the cornstarch. Water is doing spiritual work. And if you work, you gotta work it at a slow pace and consistent pace. You know, so if it starts getting too crunch up, you rest. Now, you don't want to rest forever because then it runs over the side and then you got to start working at it again, you know, mixing it with a spoon. If you just let it, it will just go. So that was the message. It finally came out. And I feel like that's what the message of me taking so long is that you can't rush your progress. There is no shortcuts, especially in baking. Which is what's happening. You're baking yourself into the next part of the thing, and especially if you are, I'm gonna look at this, especially if you're gonna reach out and grab the sword, which symbolizes your mind. So you want to take control of your mind. It seems like you have a balance over your loving yourself and others. It's just you've got a working and working mindset, an overworking mindset. And you need to find rest within your mind as well as your body. Some of you may need rest for your body as well. But with the sword symbolizing the mind, I believe some of you just need to give your brain a break, especially if you are resting and you're still going over things in your head, like I gotta do this later, I gotta go run around and do errands, I gotta do chores. That's not real rest. So yeah, if you're the cornstarch and water is spiritual work, so you want to give it a little bit of water and play with it at a consistent pace. So that's like, you know, with rest. Hopefully that analogy worked for you. If not, the overall message is to rest your mind, possibly some more meditation, and some of you may be afraid of confrontation as well. And you could be people pleasing and feeling like you need others' validation, where they have that person there with them, even though it's supposed to be their journey. And they want to reach out and have a peace of mind, but they might be afraid of confrontation of what other people think in the future. So you got your head in the future with anxieties. Do what's going to bring you peace of mind. That's my best advice. I've had to do it a lot myself, and over the years it gets a little easier. Something my therapist once said is it's easier to deal with the guilt than it is to deal with the disrespect. So I'm gonna move on to this, and then I'll call it a day. Hopefully you received all the messages you need to. I feel like some people like your lips. It's okay to let other people's opinions pile up as long as you're listening to yourself. So it doesn't matter if it's the dishes or if it's people's opinions that you put off in a pile somewhere. It's okay to let it pile up sometimes if it brings you peace of mind. 111, pay attention. Also have 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So yeah, definitely the next stage of your life. And do things in step if you're getting anxious about the future, and you don't have to like overdo it at the beginning. Like if you're worried about, oh well, what if I rest too much? Well then set breaks. You know, over time you'll figure it out. Like 1, 2, 3. And yeah, take it one step at a time. If you're getting overwhelmed, if you need to rest, then rest. And if you still feel like you need to work, then only do a little bit of the pile. Like do one dish, do a couple of dishes, and then sit down, and then go back to it again later. You can still get the same amount of work done that would take you an hour, but you can space them up into like 20-minute increments with also the rest. Like if you were gonna do dishes for a whole hour, and then afterwards you were gonna get to rest for an hour, then you could do it like 20 minutes of dishes and 20 minutes of shaking your booty in the living room while dancing to whatever you dance to, and then go back to dishes. Or you can definitely dance while you're doing dishes, but this is not the point. The point is after you're done the dishes, give yourself a rest. Get yourself a bath, a cleansing bath even. If you have one of those feet massager things, you know, all the different good things. You deserve to be pampered. You deserve to be pampered. As how you're going to show love to others and yourself, because you're not going to have time to show love to others, and you're not going to have time to show love to yourself if you're overworking yourself. I said it. I didn't need no analogy. Straight up. So fair and objective decisions. You will win in the end. Take time to review details carefully. That peace of mind is just enough. And don't feel so bad that you don't feel empathy for others, right? Or people pleasing and stuff like that. Because you're not meant to please everyone. You're meant to find peace within yourself. And that's all I got for today. Hopefully you found some guidance, or at the very least some reassurance. And anyone who's listened all the way through, thank you. Thank you, pile number 3s, for letting me read your energy. And yeah, I will, if you like, you can give me a like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye, pile number 3s.